Hello, guys. This is another episode of Networking in the Cloud. And today I'm going to be showing you an exciting video on application load balancer. And a lot of people have been longing to see this kind of video just to see how it works. And I'll just be giving a fundamental basis of it, a fundamental video of application load balancer. Later on, I might be doing another video of ALB, which is shortly known for application load balancer with auto scaling, and how to secure your data in transit when using the load balancer. So this will be coming in a separate video. I just want to make this video as short as possible. So, we all know that application load balancer is a very good product from AWS, and as a matter of fact, I'll be displaying this in the AWS console. I'll put a link in the description section of the video that you can read up on all the features that ALB support. ALB, I mean application load balancer. All its support, you can read it up there. And so please just subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button so that as new video comes up, you get them as it comes. And one thing I want you to do for me, let me know which video you would like to see, which video you would like me to demonstrate in the AWS. Maybe you're about to use AWS and you just need something to just push you into it. You just need some guidance into it. Tell me about the video you would like to see. It may be a troubleshooting video, it may be how-to video. Just let me know in the comment button, in the comment section. Let me know, and it will be right up. And so let's get into it. So as you can see, this is my screen. See my screen, I don't have any load balancer here at the moment. So I'm in the Highland region. It doesn't really matter. You can be in any region you want to move traffic to. Maybe that is where you actually have your web servers. So we'll be going ahead to create a load balancer. So if you look at this, we have the application load balancer, we have the network load balancer. As a matter of fact, network load balancer, if you're trying to make like 1 million requests per second, it's super fast. So that's the network load balancer. But today we are just going into application load balancer. And for classic load balancer, as you can see, it's the previous generation. You choose this if you have an existing application running in the EC2 classic network. Yeah. So, but for now, we are looking into the application load balancer. So just write it with me. So we're going to create these. So we have this, so we can say networking cloud, network in cloud ALB, and we want to make it internet facing, and IP address, we want to make it that. The dual stack, as a matter of fact, is if you want to have it at IPv4 or IPv6. So we just leave it like that for now. So we choose the default VPC, and I'm going to choose the availability zone. I want all the availability zone to be chosen. Let me just leave that. At this point, we go ahead to configure the security group. So configuring the security group, I've given it this name. We just created a new security group. I've written it this name, networking in cloud ALB. We put the same as its description. And because on our list now, if you look at it, we open port 80, and the same thing we want to do here. We want to open port 80 here because we can just do this. Where's that? HTTP, which is port 80. We want it to be, and this to be anywhere, can be the customer anywhere. So because we've opened the list now to be port 80, so we also want everybody from the internet to be able to reach our load balancer on port 80, which is cool. Our next part is to configure a target group. So in this target group, you can see that I have a new target group. I have not specified, I have not defined any target group at this point. So we can see the tab, so we can actually give it a name. This is the name of the target group. So, but we will be creating that probably later on. Let's see if it will allow me to go to the next part without putting a name here. So we can see that the target type says either it is instance, IP, or Lambda function. So we can see the protocol here, health check, we want it to be in HTTP. And the advanced health check here, we see that we have the interval for 30 seconds. The interval is how often does the ALB send health check to the backend instances to check if they are live or not. So we want to move this to 6 seconds. So the timeout is less than the interval. So the LD threshold says it's 5. I don't know if this is so. Maybe we might just want to pull this down to. Okay, let's leave it at 5. So it's just that at every often is 6 seconds. So 6 times 5, that should be 30 seconds. So every 30 seconds. So if this is counted to 5, it's saying the backend receives the health check at interval of 6 seconds 5 times, then the load balancer will see it and it responds back. The load balancer will see it as LD. But for unhealthy, if the backend receives for 12 seconds and it didn't get a response back, then it says that this is unhealthy. And that's and the success code we want it to be 200, which is the usual one. We can say 200 to 29. So the next part, so okay, so this is what, so we can just say web HTTP for our target group name. So let's move to the target group. So in this target group, because we don't have any instances yet, so which we're going to do later on, we can just go and do review. And this is what we've configured our load balancer to be. We're going to use the default VPCs, just giving us the quick run of everything that we're going to have done. And like I said, yeah, this is called the LD threshold. And let's just do create. So as we can see, the load balancer has been created. We can see it's in the provision state. So while it's in the provision state, let's just go ahead and create our EC2 instance so that we can make it. And as a matter of fact, yes, let's just go ahead and create our EC2 instance. We'll launch our instance at this point. So we choose Amazon Linux, the free tier, and we choose the T2 micro and that. So we are going to launch just one, and we can, it doesn't matter, but let me just choose availability zone A, and this will leave the same way they are. And what we want to do is to go to the advanced option here, and the advanced option here, I'm going to put this script in here. So this is a script we are going to, so user data is where you run a script on your EC2 Linux that has not been already launched. So this is a script that is going to get executed as the instance it's coming up. So this is a fast way to make sure that you set up a lot of things that you want to do on the EC2 instance before it's even, so by the time it's ready, by the time it's already launched, you have your web server set up, you have, if you want to make it a PHP, a lot of things that you want to do, you can run it as a bash script in this user data, and they will get executed by the time the EC2 instance will be up. So what we are doing here is to set the EC2 instance as our web server, and we want to echo this into this HTML so that we can have a very wonderful web server setup. Not exactly what you guys are looking out for, but this is enough to do the job. So we click the next, and we're not going to do anything at the storage. And at the tag, we can give it a name. We want to give it a name, and we want to call it web server. I want to call it web server 1. Web server 1. Okay, so then we go ahead and create the security group. Security group, we want to be able to have an SSH into this, and we also want to allow the ALB to be able to have access to it. So we can just choose from, so I already have a web server access group, security group, sorry. And this security group, what it shows is that you can see I have an SSH here from anywhere, which is if I want to be able to have access to the EC2 instance over my web. Let me call it web server now that we've set it up as a web server. So my web server, so I can access it via SSH, and I have HTTP port 80 because this is the port I want to open up on the web server. And this security group is for the load balancer. So in case you you don't know how this got itself there. It's just like this. Let me just show you. So in this source, I can just type SG, and it's going to populate the list of security group that I have. And you remember when we created this, which is the networking network in cloud ALB security group. We want to give only the ALB the permission to access the web server, so that we don't want to give it to the world. We don't want every other person to access the web server directly from the internet. We want them to go through the ALB, and this is another security features for you, that they can only, so that nobody just keep eating your web server and try to cause it in out of service. So what they can, if they want to do that, they're welcome to do that on the ALB, because the ALB is going to scale, and it's going to, it's going to contain all the attack. That's the way AWS has built it. So it helps with containing DDoS attack. And if you want to go a little bit further, you can add a WAF to it, which is a web application firewall, which the combination of that can help you really secure your web server. So I'll just go ahead and use this, because I've already done that before. Then we can continue. Then this is a review. Then it's going to launch. We can choose our key pair here, and this is going to get launched. So if we view it here, we will see that we have this going up. Then we can immediately go to our target group and configure that. So if we see in our target group, we don't have any instance registered yet. So what we can just do, so either click on the register target, or we register target here. So then this is going to give us the web server one. We choose this. We can add it as pending, and we can say register pending target. And by the time we go there, we can try to look at this target. The status here says initial. So we're just going to wait a while before the instance comes up, and all the scripts they've gotten executed, and then we can be able to see if it's unhealthy or not. So as we can see that it's unhealthy. At first it was showing as unhealthy, and after I start to refresh this, we can see eventually it comes to healthy. So in a situation like this, when you have something like this, you don't have to panic. So it just shows that our unhealthy threshold, as you can see, it was 2. The unhealthy threshold was 2, and we have our eldest threshold as 5. So you might want to increase this a little bit to give to give the script some time to run and be executed. You just want to give it some kind of a breathing space. It's because it's too aggressive at 2, and this is at either we move this forward, or we just want to increase the unhealthy threshold and increase this a little bit, so that we can give it some breathing space. Because as you can see, it was initially as showing as unhealthy, and after a while I keep refreshing, and eventually it comes to healthy, because we just want to give it some breathing space for the script to get installed, so that we don't, you don't get to the panic mode like, oh, what's going on? I'm supposed to see this as healthy. What's going on? It's just because it's taking some time for the script to get executed. And by the time it's now finished executing, we can see that it's now healthy. So now we have our target in the target group, and we can see our load balancer here, which should be now be serving requests. So what we are going to do is to go to, what we are going to do now is to do this, copy the DNS name, and we want to put HTTP and not HTTPS at this time. And what we have is something like this. If we click enter, so we just have to wait for it. And you see, hello networking in the cloud. This is fantastic. This is what we want to see. So we can see that we can reach our load balancer, and things are working the way they should. And this is what you want to see. You don't want to see any other error. And that is it for today. This is exactly what this is a simple way to set up your load balancer, the last application load balancer. And thank you so much. Uh, just go ahead and click subscribe, please. subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button. Let me know what are the type of video you want to see. Is it direct connect? It's mostly networking in the cloud. You want to see some VPN, you want to see some troubleshooting, and let me just know what kind of video you want to see, if so that they can come right up to you and hit the notification button, so you can get them. In the next video, I'll be going a little bit further with the application load balancer, and to have it with auto scaling, and I'll also try to have it with when you are trying to make sure that now we are using HTTP. As you can see, it's not secure. So try to see how we can encrypt our data in transit and use HTTPS. And I believe you would you would like this. And thank you, thank you so much. Thanks so much. I look forward to seeing you next time in the next video. Thank you.